Hello, Smashers, and welcome to the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate North America Open 2019 Finals here at PAX East in Boston, Massachusetts. We are live from the PAX Arena with this capacity crowd. Are you guys ready to see some Smash? It's going to be an incredible time. Over the past several months, Nintendo has held online qualifiers all over North America, and 18,000 entrants and more have whittled down to just 12. We have 3 participants from each region across the North America region. We have Northeast, Northwest, Southeast, and Southwest, and these guys are going to be bringing their A game because the winning team today will go on to the World Championships for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in June of 2019. That's going to be a 3v3, and we've got some hot squad strike action today. My name is Coney, joined, of course, by EE and Vicky Kitty. And Vicky, it's been quite a ride we've had to get to this moment.
I know, we've had so many competitors, we have so many matches that we've seen transpire throughout the last month and a half or so, and now we're finally here at PAX East.
Yeah, it's going to be an incredible show, EE. I know that there's so much on the line, so much at stake. What do you think differentiates this format that we're going to play, this squad strike that we're about to see?
Well, one thing I think they could kind of, at the end of the day, you got to understand, it's still singles, essentially, right? It's just you got to kind of manage your stocks, you know, obviously, one character, one side. It gets a little more tricky. I think the best thing I've noticed, though, a lot of the teams surprise me by how much they're already, getting along, formulating strategies and stuff like that. I think the fact that you can come into a squad strike event and already have that good team camaraderie, despite not meeting anybody prior to that, that's a big advantage. Yeah,
and let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Of course, I know we have people. A lot of you guys already know what's going on, but just to go over the basics, Vicky, can you sort of walk us through the ABCs of Smash?
Absolutely, and if you guys are new to Smash Brothers, of course, this is how the rules are going to be playing out for Super Smash Brothers. If you are at 0%, of course, as you gain percent, the knockback will increase gradually until there are no more stocks and your opponent is off the stage, and that will be it.
Yeah, so what you're going to see is we have 3 combatants from each of the regions. Like I said, Northeast, Northwest, you guys know the deal. So these guys are going to be playing in squad strike format. The format's going to change a little bit throughout the day. Right. Just bear with us, we'll explain it. But we're going to start off with a seeding round, which is best of. So essentially, we're going to have both teams come together. Each player from the team gets 1 character and 1 stock. And from there, we're going to determine the seeding for the rest of the bracket. And with these many incredible players that we're going to see today, I mean, like, I think this is up in the air.
You know what? Everybody has their favorites already, right? You know, you kind of look to a couple of players there, kind of notable names on a couple of teams. You kind of think, okay, well, they're going to be the powerhouse. They're going to be the anchors, you know, to kind of get their team through. For me, it's all about that one guy who can almost kind of quarterback the team, you know what I'm saying? We're in New England, okay? They know about quarterbacks, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of going to be the main strategy. I don't think it's going to be defined necessarily by who you know. It's what you don't expect that's going to pull you through.
Yeah, all these players having so many different characters sort of under their belt. In the online qualifiers, we saw them usually stick to 1, maybe 2. But today, they've got to have deep pockets because if they stay in that winner's bracket, they're each going to be expected to play 3 characters.
That's
Vicky,
crazy.
when you're talking about juggling 3 characters at a high level, that's not an easy feat.
It's definitely not, and you also have to consider like counterplay towards the other opponents, but we have to factor in items is at play here. Items set to low, that is a toss-up for a lot of these characters, and what they could take advantage depending on the items that are on the stage.
Yeah, so there are items of all types in Super Smash Bros. You guys are going to see them spawn at a rate of low, so they're not coming out too crazy. It's not going to be too much nonsense, but it's going to be a whole lot of fun. You're going to see assist trophies, see some Pokemon, see all kinds of Nintendo franchises represented. And if you had to pick a favorite item, EE, across the whole game.
Home run bat.
Yeah?
You can't top the thrill of charging that sucker up and just putting the Louisville Slugger to somebody's head, man. It's too good. That's just how I feel.
Super fun. And we've got the players loading in right now, as you can tell, taking a seat. That is the Northeast team, if I'm not mistaken. So that will be made up of John Numbers, SETH, and DTFAUX. And really, a wide breadth of regions being represented by these guys.
Yeah, and I believe they would be facing off against the Northwest region, which has SWEETT, Austin, and Mystic Sylvanos. We have so many different characters at play here as well. And, of course, we've seen what they were able to do a few months ago when they were able to play against each other in the North American Open qualifiers. But we don't know what other characters they have below their sleeve.
I think that's what makes it so exciting, right? We're going to kind of find out right now, already opening things up. DK versus Incineroar. I'm talking about both these heavyweights duking it out.
Yeah, you got some big bodies on the stage. Of course, DK, always fun to watch, but Incineroar is such a crowd favorite just because of his flashy playstyle. DTFAUX coming to us from Maryland and Virginia, that region. Had to see how he fares against Austin's Donkey Kong here as we're starting out very even.
Finally getting the clash we've all been waiting for. Smashville to open things up. What items we're going to get it.
Yeah, so the party ball will open up and has a bunch of items inside, and this time we're gonna see an assist trophy battle. Looks like we've got Dylan coming out to play, along with the Claptrap, who's gonna sort of go along the bottom of the stage and try to find a target.
Although Austin did have stage control for a second there, the healing field coming out. DTFAUX, you see how he's just hanging out there. Slow, it's very slow though, it's not so significant. That allowed Austin to get the smash.
Oh, the whip! Oh,
Just
come
jumped
on,
all right
buddy.
around it.
What a whiff. He whiffs
tight.
the smash ball, but right there you saw DTFAUX actually whiffing the Alolan whip. Kind of surprising there. We're going to see the berry, but he does not convert into the up smash. Austin struggling a little bit here.
Loving the aggression coming down from Pro. Oh, that was a terrific grab. He is maintaining stage control, even amidst all the chaos. Oh my, yeah, that's the tough part right there for DK.
And you know what I think happened? I think he didn't realize that he lost his jump, so unfortunately, that means it's going to take a hit for the Northwest team. Northeast is going to take a point on the board and take one step further into establishing a better seed for themselves. So here, coming up next, looks like we're going to have SWEETT against SETH, Pokemon Trainer against Yoshi. Vicky, how do you feel about this matchup?
Honestly, I feel like Yoshi, it can be a little tricky, but you also have to remember Pokemon Trainer has Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard ready to mix up on the matchup, but Seth, being a known player for his Yoshi, he did a really good job coming to get here in the first place, so I'm really interested to see how he's going to be spacing out these fares, as you saw right there.
I don't think you're going to catch Seth too off guard. Obviously, Pokemon Trainer is one of the best characters, just being versatile when it really comes down to it. But Seth is just so, we've known this guy's name for quite a while. He's just so well versed. The only thing that's going to make things a little bit tricky is when those items again get into play, things get a little hectic, and how you kind of wade through all that pressure.
Of course, we have the capsule out here. Seth throwing it down. The jetpack is out. Ivysaur are going to take a ride on it, but it doesn't look like it's going to come in much handy. But keep in mind, guys, Seth is from Chicago, as we know, and there is actually a very high-level Pokemon trainer in Chicago known as Ned.
Yes.
So I think he's going to be very well versed in this matchup as SWEETT takes a quick ride to center stage on Yoshi's Island.
Not doing too bad of a job thus far. Oh.
Well, I really like the patience coming from SWEETT. Notice how SWEETT's not really jumping too much because he understands that Yoshi has these pretty big hitboxes on his aerial.
Okay. Oh, he's not even playing around. He's just going for that triple finish.
He fell right into it. He tried to avoid it.
He lands it, and SWEETT putting a point on the board for his team, so it's all going to come down to this third and final game. And I love the fact that he just popped it. He just let the triple finish go. And a lot of people wouldn't do that just because Yoshi has so much aerial mobility.
That's
He's
fair.
one of the fastest characters in the air, but SWEETT recognizing his shot and taking it.
You notice that Seth actually tried to avoid it by using the egg toss with the up B and kind of tried to maneuver himself around SWEETT, but that final smash is so big that it just caught him off guard.
Listen, I've seen too many times where people try and get all cold and calculated with holding those
Too
final
cerebral.
smashes.
Yeah,
Exactly,
just
too
do
much
it.
cerebral. Just let it rip, man. You got it in your hands. What could go wrong? Not a daggone thing. He just took that man.
So coming up next, it looks like it's going to be Mystic against John Numbers. And guys, let's keep in mind how important this match is. Whoever wins this is going to be one step further to being the high seed in the tournament.
Absolutely.
And potentially, seal their ticket further on in the tournament as we have Inkling against Ridley. Now, this can be sort of a difficult matchup for Ridley just because he's such a large character.
He is, and actually we saw John Numbers play Palutena, and now his Inkling coming out. That's how you know he means real business. This is the character that he also uses in tournament, gets the berry, misses the forward smash, as Ridley was at low percent, so he actually manages to mash out of the berry a lot easier.
All right, here comes Vulpix. Going to be able to do a little bit of damage with that breath, that fire coming through, but not really as effective as I would have expected. But John Numbers, my goodness, what a lead this man has already built up.
And he got the up smash, not quite enough, but keep in mind, when the opponent is inked, Inkling actually does more damage to them. And you can see Ridley at 181, John Numbers just destroying Mystic there. This is your 2015 Nintendo World Champion.
You got to give a shout out to Vulpix right there, because all those Ember attacks really help that damage accumulate.
Yeah. Awesome stuff to John Numbers, securing it for his team, and they are going to win a point in the seeding. So essentially what's going to happen, they just won that match. So now we're going to see Southeast against Southwest coming up. Those two are going to play. The winners will play the winners, and the other side is going to play the other side, and we're going to see what the top 4 seeds are from there.
I got to tell you, man, I think the Northwest maybe looking as good as a couple people might have booked that team.
I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? I know it's still early on. I'm not calling any favors just yet, but I got to give some respect.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I mean, the Ridley really is such a polarizing pick. It can really pop off, but I think against Inkling, it really struggles. And if I have to give any credit to the Northeast team, it's in picking their matchups. They saved John Numbers for the end, knowing he would sort of be the anchor for that third game. Really respect that decision.
Exactly. I'm actually not too surprised that they did that, too, and I noticed that John Numbers was going to go last, that sometimes you need one of your best players to be the anchor for your team.
Yes.
Especially in a situation where you may find yourself at a deficit, it could really make or break the match for your team.
Well, not to mention the fact he has the most experience
Yep.
in this kind of
Exactly.
competitive
Very
setting,
true.
too, for Nintendo. Like, this guy's a former champion, runner-up. He knows exactly what it takes to compete on this stage.
And not just with tournament play, we're talking with items
Yes.
too. This
Yep.
guy knows every item in the game. I mean, this guy was grilling us backstage in trivia. He knows everything, guys.
Not a joke.
You're going to see him go super far in this tournament, but coming up very shortly, we're going to have the other seeding match, which is going to be Southeast against Southwest coming up. And again, you're going to see one player per character, so 3 stocks. So really picking your characters and picking your players, seeing who you're going to send out first is just absolutely crucial.
And you know, they could also be throwing off their opponents by going these characters because they don't have to, it's not a character lock. They don't have to stick with these characters going onto the
okay.
bracket after the seeding's done.
Okay, delving
Yeah.
a little deep in those minds right there. I
Sometimes
like that,
you have to
Vicky.
throw them off guard, man.
I feel it. I feel
Yeah.
it.
Well, keeping in mind that they're going to have to use 3 characters further on.
Of
So
course.
Yep.
basically what's going to happen is at the end of the seeding round, everybody goes into the winner's bracket, and every player is going to have to play 3 different characters. So I feel like they don't want to reveal their hands too
Right,
much.
exactly.
John Numbers, of course, known for his Inkling, but can also play Palutena at a high level, can play Wii Fit Trainer, and he has a secret pick,
Yeah.
which you guys might
Not
not know
gonna-
about.
not gonna-
No,
yeah,
keep
I
it
don't want to
low,
ruin
keep
the
it low.
surprise for that one. I'm actually
So.
really excited for that because
Yeah.
he's been talking it up since yesterday. So I'm really excited to see what John Numbers got up his sleeve.
I think that's the thing that would kind of, as an opponent, I have a little bit of hesitation because, like, this guy's already so proficient with these already high-level characters, and you mean to tell me he's got something else on the back burner? Come on, man.
And that something else is, ooh, it's
Yeah,
something
you're gonna
else.
see-
I'll
you're
just
gonna
say that. You guys are going to see it coming up very shortly. But essentially, you're going to see this winner's bracket, and then we actually have a lower bracket,
Yep.
so it is double elimination. So if anybody loses, don't worry, it's not over just yet. They're going to move down into the lower bracket where the format is very much like the seeding format now, where every player gets 1 character, 1 stock. But when you see this much dynamism, this level of play that you're seeing right here, what do you think about this sort of format, the squad strike, the items, everything? What do you think that really plays to in terms of players?
So honestly, aside from the fact that items could really determine who could come out victor in the end of the match, you also have to master more than 1 character. You have to master also more than 1 matchup, and you're adapting on the fly.
Yeah.
So even when you're in loser's bracket, although you have that 1 stock, you have to rely on your teammate to understand the matchup versus the other opponent, the second player on the other team.
I think Smash at its core, its squad strike kind of helps represent that because you don't want to just be proficient with 1 character. There's so many good selections in this game, you got to be able to go ahead.
And sort of talking about that, we're starting out with Southeast against Southwest. We have Wrath against TEARBEAR. Now, neither of these guys really going their sort of signature character. We do know that Wrath has been playing more Inkling,
Yes.
but these guys were both sort of known. Wrath for his Sonic and TEARBEAR for his Ike.
His Ike,
So
yes.
this is a little bit of a switch up.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you can almost say, it kind of goes back to Vicky's point. You don't want to show your hand too early. And I think
Right.
this is a good selection because you know they're going to be well-versed with both.
The golden hammer?
You got to go for that.
Golden
Yeah,
hammer.
I was going to say, man, what you waiting for?
But keep in mind, this could put him in a bad spot. If you're thrown off the stage with that, you could be in a really bad position. Wrath trying to fight his way back onto the stage, and he does. He stalls out the Wrath special as long as he can.
He would rather hang out by the ledge than even try to contest that on the stage. And you know what? I do not blame him.
Not at all. Raph doing what he does best, man. Patience, trying to win the day right now. He is trailing about 30%.
And keep in mind, both these characters super good at racking up damage early, but both of them can have a lot of trouble in getting the stock off. So
Yes,
I
that
think that's
final
what
kill.
it comes down to. You're going to see them all go to about 100, 110, 120, something like that. But getting that final KO can be difficult unless these items come into play.
Can we talk about TEARBEAR's patience right now, though? Not over-approaching at the same time, catching Wrath's jump right there.
Oh
Gets
my
the
goodness.
up-B.
Sick conversion. I'm going to tell you right now, if there's somebody in this tournament who I think could truly match Raph's patience, you're looking at him right here in TEARBEAR, and he's got the character to do it. Young Link really kind of tearing through Raph, honestly.
I could see this being sort of difficult for a lot of the Southeast team, but you can see
Oh, the
TEARBEAR,
Daybreak
he's
coming
facing
out.
the wrong direction.
Oh.
Oh no!
Oh, it doesn't matter. The Daybreak coming out.
A huge explosion from TEARBEAR there, taking it out. He just let it go.
I mean, he broke the stock in that man's soul. How you just gonna do that off a straight hit, bro? Come on now.
I feel like he just purposely jumped to see what Wrath was going to do, and the moment he saw that Wrath was going to hold forward, he just let it rip.
Yeah.
I mean, you talked about letting it rip. Here's the replay. You can see it right here. You can see TEARBEAR picking it up, facing the wrong direction.
yeah.
He's trying to turn, but Rat says, let me give you a little boost there.
Raph did a favor.
Wrath hit him, and it actually put him in that direction.
Raph actually, and you know, that's huge momentum because you kind of look to Raph to kind of set the tone for this team. Him taking the L first game, that is tremendous.
Coming up next is going to be DEVONTE against NUMBREON, Wario against Ness. Wario, a character who a lot of people had their eyes on in the early stages of this game.
Absolutely. Of course, we have some representation of Wario from Tweak himself, who's done some interesting plays with Wario. But here you have NUMBREON coming in pretty strong as Ness. Yeah, I like the patience. He's just trying to cover his jumps overall, but DeVonte not really giving it to him as he manages to catch the item.
He's got the turret right there. Excellent bite there, knowing he's going to hold shield. Good slap. He does not have a jump, but he's able to air dodge back onto the stage.
Yeah, I like the control we were seeing just a moment ago from DeVonte. Understanding, he's using that. He's kind of playing off the turret too, and that's what you kind of get. Yeah, exactly. Really getting a lot out of those final hits, and look at the patience, just holding down the left side, gets the dash attack, and keeping him all the way off.
Yeah, that's really.
He's
charging the up smash, knowing Ness is gonna fall with that forward air, and DeVonte just like that, putting a point on the board. We're out to another game 3.
It's, you know, and it's not even surprising. Again, you look at these crews, you can see the balance is truly there. I'm expecting almost all these to honestly go to a game kind of 3. You know what I'm saying?
So Poltergust is the last hope for his team. On the other side, we've got AAROW. And AAROW, we did see him using Young Link earlier, but I think that in the rule set, you can't use the same character. So because of that, he's going to actually go Ridley against Poltergust Yoshi. And guys, Poltergust, he's not a new face.
No, if you are familiar with Smash, if you know the anthology of this game, you know he was a tremendous player back in Brawl. And to see him kind of find himself again in Ultimate, it's just been tremendous to watch.
Here we are on Congo Jungle starting off now. If we're talking about the stage and the slants, Vicky, how do you think that's going to sort of shape this matchup, considering, you know, Yoshi can pop those eggs out, they bounce on the floor?
Yeah, that's actually a new thing in this game too, is the egg bounces on the stage and the slants, allowing that to add in that extra pressure, but also, we have to talk about the fact that you could the double-edged sword!
Oh dear, he falls through the stage.
I mean, look,
just like that.
The space pirate rush, that man rushed to his death. I mean, good Lord, it's falling all the way. And it looked like it was going to be a highlight play, but unfortunately it was for the other guy.
Yeah, that was so unfortunate for AAROW as they soak off the stage. But awesome stuff to Southeast. We were talking about Poltergust too. He didn't really do much, if I'm being honest.
Listen, you know what he did? He survived.
Yep, there we go. It said objective run. That was it, and he got away with it. Awesome stuff to the Southeast team. So Southwest, fortunately, going to take the L on that one, but what we're going to see is Northeast playing Northwest, or Northeast, Southeast, Northwest, Southwest. There are too many variables.
You got a bracket in your head. I wish I could get to
I was going to say.
I wish
we
I
have
could
the graphic in Cody's head right now.
We're going to see how that goes, but we're going to have those matches coming up for you. But already, you could tell just the stocks are flying. The games are going so fast. The level of play that we're seeing here is outstanding.
How are you going to have such an explosive seeding matches? Like, the tournament hasn't even begun yet.
And that's the crazy thing, too, because honestly, as I've noticed, items haven't played that much of a factor yet.
Well, other than the daybreak.
Well, yeah,
probably
that was the highlight of that, of course. But still, I think there's still a lot more wonkiness to come.
Of course, we're going to have to see how it shapes up in the future. Got 2 more seeding matches coming up for you guys, and if anybody had any kind of fantasy brackets or anything for this, I feel like they've got to be in shambles already.
Just toss it out the window, man. Just toss it out the window.
You never know what's going to happen with all these great players on the stage. With this squad strike format, I mean, we keep talking about it. It's such a different format, and leading into the World Championships coming up in June, where we're going to see the 3v3 play out. You're going to have North America, Japan, Europe, and Australia, New Zealand. That's going to be so much fun to watch.
No doubt about it, man. I can't really wait to see what other representatives we see, because we already see the talent being displayed today. What's going to happen June 8th? It's insane.
It's going to be unreal. Yeah,
I'm actually really excited to see the outcome of this tournament in themselves too, because you can already see these players are bringing out their all.
Yes, yeah. And some of them are sort of holding back a little bit.
I can see that. I know we can notice that, but at the same time, we have to understand why. And I feel like that's going to be played out in bracket very soon.
I feel like there's a difference between sparring and prize fighting. I feel like they're sparring right now. You know, they haven't quite got to that big purse just yet where they're going to be trying to take everything down. And once they get to that opportunity, that's when you're going to see. And there's a little more motivation on some of these players' sides, too, because you got to consider some of these guys, it took them 2 tries to get here, right?
Yeah.
Not everybody got in on the first effort. And I got to tell you, man, when you can go through 2 rounds of just grueling online competitive play like that and just you come up short the first time, but then you run it back the second time. Come on, man, that's got to motivate.
It's not easy. We were talking about 18,000 entrants. For these guys to get to the finals again and again, that's super impressive.
And what's funny is that since they had to compete against each other in their own regions, now they're on their own, like they're on together, their own team. So you have to work together against the enemy who knocked you out, where you actually have to try again to compete. I think that also adds the level of sportsmanship.
And respect, too, right? You gotta have a lot of respect for your teammates. experience in that kind of case.
Of course, so we're starting it off once more, guys. You're going to get into the next game. I believe this is the winner's bracket side. Oh, no. So, yeah. Oh, we're starting with the loser's bracket side.
Okay, lower bracket.
So, essentially, Northwest and Southwest are going to be playing out. This is for determining who is 3rd and 4th seed happening. DTFAUX against Mystic happening here.
All right, 2 big bodies doing battle. Gotta love that. Already a nice start for DTFAUX. Oh, I love how he just, very smart, just going high and just kind of keeping him pinned. This right side completely belonging to Foe.
And I know that we're on Frigate Orpheum, one of your favorite
stages.
stages.
You already know, baby. Legalize it everywhere.
And I feel like AAROW should have picked up that Tanuki, because what happened was he didn't take it there. You can see they're trying to jump up there. He's able to make it. Oh, no!
Landing with that lag as he presses the up B on that platform.
He went for too much. I know he wanted that wing blitz to hit honestly just accumulate a little bit more damage, but the result was not worth it because he whiffed and he left himself completely open.
And if we've got to be honest, Ridley is currently 0 for 3 on the big stage, so have to see if he can pull something.
But he made it to the big stage.
He did
made it to the big stage.
That's what matters.
That's a good point. SWEETT coming up against TEARBEAR again, and TEARBEAR once again on the Young Link. I don't want to belabor this point too much, but TEARBEAR not really showing us his real stuff.
Yeah, he's
that's the scary thing.
Exactly. I mean, we saw him play Ike to get here in the first place, so.
But right now, it is the Young Link doing him justice. Gonna have a tough challenge though in SWEETT. Somebody incredibly seasoned and one of the best PTs on the block, as we're seeing early. Ton of damage being accumulated.
Squirtle just so good at racking up damage. He really gets that damage from about 0 to 60, 0 to 70, and then you want to swap out to Ivysaur, as you see SWEETT doing.
Okay.
SWEETT not even taking a hit thus far.
This is looking pretty grim thus far if you're TEARBEAR.
Oh, this shield poke?
All right, I was gonna say, give me something, man. Give me something.
TEARBEAR throwing off the fire bar, does not even want to mess with it. SWEETT going for these aerials, sort of patrolling the platform, but TEARBEAR gonna do what he can to rack up the damage. Right back on him.
All right, TEARBEAR, you know, one thing I always give him credit for, he's not somebody who gets flustered early on. Things don't go your way at the start of things, he can definitely hold on. And you see him starting to chip into this lead, about a 40% deficit.
You can see right now 98% on TEARBEAR. He's trying to sit back. It's that patience that we talked about before. SWEETT trying to find his way in, but it seems that TEARBEAR is starting to get this back, rack up this damage.
That he is.
Charizard is out.
Ivysaur did his job. He kind of made up the deficit, and now Charizard coming in to maybe the closer, but no, Squirtle gonna rear his head again. He is targeting that smash ball. Maybe one good hit away from unlocking it.
And
finally,
the big hitbox on the up air, and he catches his landing with the final smash. It's super effective, and then knocking TEARBEAR out into the blast zone.
The triple finish yet again, doing him justice. How many times are we going to see that throughout the course of this event?
If SWEETT keeps playing the way that he is, I feel like it's going to be in our future quite a bit. But again, we're out to another Game 3. These teams are so evenly matched.
Crazy. It's crazy. You couldn't have shaped it any better, man. No blowouts at all. Everybody just kind of fighting with something. Obviously, just a lot of determination. Now, Austin and NUMBREON. It's going to be a fun one.
This can be a little difficult on both sides, right? Just because Austin, with DK, what he's going to try to do is get those early grab combos, try to rack up as much percent on Ness as he can. Meanwhile, on the other side, Ness going to try to box DK out.
Yeah, I feel like NUMBREON's a pretty aggressive player himself, you know, starting off the match already with a forward smash. But you can see, I feel like it could be difficult for DK to land against this character too. Yes. But on Battlefield, these platforms allow DK to actually mix up his own landing.
Absolutely.
See him using that magnet, trying to find a way down. Austin going for the big forward smash, but NUMBREON just waiting, sitting on the ledge. That level of patience, very dedicated.
That level of patience, plus the fact, again, a really solid zoning game that Ness can really put out.
Oh, and look at how he's using
the
Tanuki suit. So what he's doing is he's trying to float in the air, sort of like Peach almost, using these aerials right in front of Donkey Kong.
Customizable float for Ness, that's a scary thing. Austin's got to be careful off the stage right now. NUMBREON knows it, charging up that yo-yo, and now you gotta go-go. That was a heck of a play in the clutch. You already know, man. He had it set up.
Nowhere is safe off stage against Ness, especially when you charge that down smash or that up smash, as the hitbox is lingering the entire time.
Yeah, what happens is if Ness throws that down smash off, that hitbox just stays out forever. And aerial spinning Kong, unfortunately, we've heard a lot about that.
Gonna be a little receptive for that particular move.
It can be pretty tough. So awesome stuff to that team. So that's going to determine our 3rd and 4th seed teams. And now we're going to switch it over to the winner's side in just one moment. But again, don't want to talk about it too much, but Ridley not really showing up on the big stage just yet.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate. I honestly, at the same time, Ridley does struggle in some of the matchups that we're seeing on screen. But remember, these players can change up their characters. We're not going to be seeing Ridley the entire time if we feel like they're not working out for them.
Yeah. I think you got a roster with over 70 characters. You got options. That's really not the issue. But the thing is, when you qualified for the event, that being the character that was your backbone to get there, it's kind of hard to turn your back on them. So yeah, the first couple of matches not necessarily going your way. I don't think it's going to deter people. If anything, I would guarantee it motivates. Like, I'm going to show you, like, you talking about really ain't winning no matches, I'm going to show you something.
I can see that, especially in the seeding. I mean, like, it's early on. These guys are just deciding the seeding. We haven't even set up the bracket yet, so we're going to set that up in just one moment. But as you can see, Southwest coming out ahead, and we're going to play the next match coming up very shortly on the winner's side, and that's going to determine our seeds 1 and 2, but we're going to see just how many characters these guys have in their pocket. We keep talking about it. We've seen the Ridley, we've seen the Young Link, we see the Pokemon Trainer. Just such a variety of characters here.
Yeah, I actually feel like Mystic was the one that got in with his Ridley, and he put on such a strong showing, I would say, in his match, where it was brought to the last hit situation, and I feel like we could possibly see something very similar to that here. We haven't really seen Mystic come out, so I have my points on him, if anything.
I feel you on that. You know, again, I'm not, you know, we're, as you said, you know, you can't harp on it enough. This is just for seeding, okay? We haven't seen the real thing yet. The pressure's not quite on as much because honestly, I don't really, it doesn't matter if you're 1st or 4th seed. Like, you have an equal opportunity to take the tournament from any seed. You know what I'm saying? You just got to show up when it counts.
Yep, absolutely. So we're going to see how these guys play, and keep in mind the nerves of this.
Yeah.
A lot of these players getting flown out from all over. We said this was a North American thing. This is the whole continent, guys. So they're getting flown out from everywhere here to Boston.
And this is a couple people's first, like, legit, real, like, event. And you know, it's kind of weird to say, like, but it's not like going to a local. You're at PAX East on the grand stage, Nintendo's hosting, like, that's a lot of pressure, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got a lot of eyes on you, but whoever rises to the occasion, I think that's where you're going to see a true superstar in the making as we are about to commence the next match in winner's side at last.
It's going to be DTFAUX against Wrath. Like you said, this is winner's side. Wrath sticking with the Inkling, DTFAUX with the Incineroar as we are starting on Congo Jungle. Little sort of interested in how the stage is going to come out in this matchup.
Like that Lariat kind of backing him down just a tad. I feel like Inkling right here, for me, the frustrating thing right there is just going to be that speed, man. Oh, Lord have mercy.
I'll say, well, you know what's frustrating aside from speed is being pretty big and having these large hitboxes, catching him with the back air.
That's just not fair. I mean, that's just...
Giant Inkling with a giant gun.
All Incineroar could do was pray.
Yeah. That was really rough. You saw DTFAUX sort of struggling off on the side. Have to see if Seth can bring it back for his team, try to force a game 3 as he's coming up against DEVONTE. Both these characters very mobile.
And I want to give credits to Raph, too. I think that was a big game for Raph, too, because we saw him in his last showing actually losing to TEARBEAR.
Yes.
This time, kind of doing what his team expects out of him. Set the tone early, got the W right there.
Gonna see a lot of aerial evasion in this matchup. Yoshi and Wario, 2 of the fastest characters in the game, and Yoshi once again getting home stage advantage. I wonder if he's something weird going on here. All right.
Could you imagine?
Yoshi just greasing the palms on this one, going to this stage again. Okay.
See what he's got. DEVONTE has already shown a high level of patience. Wario, one of the characters, kind of benefits with that strong combo game as well.
Forward throw off on the side. Seth going to try to find his way back. Wario just so good at bait and punish. You're going to see DEVONTE sort of drift in and out of Seth's range and try to force something to happen. Now, that star is out. Essentially, the star launch fires in the opposite direction of where you throw it. So since it was thrown down, it's actually going to launch people up, right?
Something to keep an eye on. It hasn't really been a factor just yet, just because I feel like where it's positioned so high above.
Yep. Oh, he's looking for the bike.
So yeah, you saw you try to look for the bike. Playing extremely patient, mostly below the platform. Especially if you have your opponent above the platform, you can add in that extra pressure. That's why you saw him go for the up tilt right there.
All right, one that Yoshi bound to connect, nothing doing. DEVONTE still with a very healthy lead. And he saw him trying to charge that up smash. We saw him already take a stock or a match that way last time, but...
A beautiful tech chase. What happens is you saw DEVONTE hit the ground and he had to tech, because if he didn't, then Seth would have been able to run up with a jab and get the stock anyway. So he teched, he chose the wrong decision in teching in. Seth just had it scouted. Awesome job there.
I credit Seth a lot for just being in that situation, almost being 3 steps ahead.
Yes.
Like predicting what are you going to do in the situation. caught it perfectly, and that's what you kind of expect. One of the best Yoshis you're ever going to see right there.
And out of the 4 matches, every single one has gone to game 3.
Absolutely. And, you know, speaking of Yoshi, we got another Yoshi on the screen here, Poltergust. As you guys were mentioning, a really good Yoshi player since Brawl.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, definitely has his roots pretty deep in Smash, but he's going to have his hands full against John Numbers. Just an absolutely incredible player, man. Already seeing this inkling come to fruition.
Gonna have to see how this matchup plays out. Yoshi can be a little difficult for Inkling just because Yoshi's hitboxes are very good at just kind of throwing out and forcing Inkling to come into them. Also, Yoshi living for a very long time.
Yeah, I was gonna mention, Yoshi actually could survive for a while, and I feel like that's the one issue that Inkling has, is sometimes Inkling could struggle to land that KO.
I agree.
And that's why you see Inklings go for the fair or back air to try to follow up with a grab afterwards. Oh, you should try to catch his landing with a forward smash.
Kind of stuffed it. Brave attempt, paying off. So Polt trailing a little bit, but nothing, man. Obviously, Yoshi's not capable of just kind of bringing back.
You always got to watch out for that up air from Yoshi. Poltergust knowing that. Numbers trying to get his ink back, and right now Poltergust kind of has him on the ropes with that super scope.
He's got that scope.
Oh, but Numbers found his way in!
Woo! And he was using the scope. He was trying to get those shots off, but Numbers saw an opening, and this is a guy, he doesn't hesitate. Pulls that trigger, and you see the result.
Caught him a little sleepy on that. Caught him cross stage, shooting that super scope. And again, that is your 2015 Nintendo World Champion. You can't sleep on the dude.
He's dancing right there. He's feeling good, man.
He's feeling great right now, pretty confident. And that's also another thing we got to talk about. Mindset is so important. You are on the stage, so of course, some people could be a little shaky, especially if this is their first tournament.
Definitely.
I know we have some young players out here with their parents. Shout out to those parents, by the way, that actually support.
Y'all the real ones
yes,
right there.
That support the players out here.
Ones.
Congratulations to the players that actually managed to come out here to PAX East. But, you know, nerves are a factor in this, and mindset is very key when it comes to trying to take those very close games as the one that we saw right now.
Of course, yeah, it all comes down to mindset. It has to do with your confidence, how you're loading into the game, how well you understand the opponent's character. There's so many things sort of going on in the mental game as you start playing.
I like the fact that it takes them out of their comfort zone, because remember, when you're qualifying, you have the comfort of your home. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have all these lights on you, all these eyes on you, all that kind of stuff, man. But when you kind of got to come and compete and show up on that big stage, that's the guys I'm looking for who really have that star power. And just honestly, from what I've seen, every single one of those guys on stage, very capable.
Absolutely. So we have our bracket finally. We're going to show that to you guys very shortly. Here it is. And looks like we've got Northeast going up against Northwest and Southeast going up Southwest. I guess either way it would have been both sides, but you can see the bracket right here. Now keep in mind, winner's bracket is going to be in a different format than what we saw previously, but Northeast against Northwest. I think Northeast is the team that we had the pleasure of commentating for our things, and now they're in first. Those are our boys.
You know what? We kind of got to see them assembled firsthand in front of us, and we knew these guys were good. We knew they were talented, and the fact that they're doing so well, I'm not surprised. Obviously not taking a thing away from everybody else. A ton of incredible players within this bracket, but that Northeast, they're standing out just a little bit more for me right now in the early goings.
Of course, and Vicky, if you had to pick a team this early on, I'm going to put you on the spot here. You saw these players play. You saw what they were capable of. Who's your dark horse?
Honestly, Southeast is looking really strong, and that's with no bias, as I am from Southeast myself, but Southeast is also looking pretty strong next to Northeast. But I just want to talk about with the match that we have coming up, Northeast versus Northwest. SWEETT looks like he's on fire.
Yeah, he's going to be the player to watch for sure. But guys, stay tuned, stick around. We're going to be back with more Squad Strike action here at PAX Arena in just one moment.